YouTube. Test, test, test. There we go. Hello out there. We're on the air. You're damn right we're on the air. What the heck was happening there? Happy hump day, everybody. Happy hump day, my friends. You might be wondering, hey, George, Wednesday, what the heck are you doing on YouTube right now? And don't worry, I will get to it. I will get to what's going on right now in the world. But before we do that, we got to make sure that Noster knows we're live. We got to feed Noster. And then we'll carry on. Might be a feisty show today. We'll see. I don't really know how this is going to go, to be 100% honest with you right now. Well, you'll see. You will see what's going on here. Okay. Hi, Noster. We are live. Okay. There we go. How's everybody doing? Good morning. The Daily Bitcoin Journey is back. What? What the heck? Let's see what's going on here. Well, some things never change. Killer 76 is back with the first chat of the day. Good morning, Killer 76. We got Frank, everything divided by 2.1 quadrillion sats. High Found keeps stacking sats. Good morning, Paulo. Good to see you, my friend. Buck52 says, what channel should we watch on? Well, if you're commenting, you can be watching wherever you are. But I'll talk about the plan going forward here. Paulo, good morning twice. Look at that. Wow. Andrew, one of our Bitcoin journeymen, says switch to knots yesterday on the Start 9. Quick and easy. Nice. Good for you, my friend. Good for you. Oh, man, I got a wild story about that. It's not really YouTube appropriate, though. Somebody texted me one time about knots. Definitely not what we're looking for. I think I'm back. Anyways, I don't even know what I was talking about there. Ginger, good morning. I thought that was done with this computer. I thought we were done with that. Anyways, well, the show must go on here, right? Ginger, Gronky Tonk Man, good morning. Except my second screen's still not working here. What a shit show. Okay, well, hopefully that comes back on. Rock, good morning. Everyone switching to Amethyst continue. Okay, I like that. I like it. MPC3G. It's a new face. Good morning. Daniel, good morning. Neil, hey, from the UK. Look at that. Good morning, Neil. Across the pond. Okay, let's keep her going here. J Dog, good morning. Hey Jay, I sent your sweater yesterday. They didn't really know when it was going to get there though. I could have got it there pretty quick for $100, but I didn't think we want to be paying that much. Bitcoin Nurse says, good morning, hodlers. Love to see people talking about swapping over to Bitcoin knots and a start 9. Yes, no doubt. It's good to see. That's the one thing I think that came out of that whole thing was that people woke up to the fact that, hey, maybe we haven't won this thing yet. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today, actually, in a different way. But this thing is still not working. What should we do? We'll try the other HDMI port. I don't know what happened there. The whole thing just went blank. All the ports stopped working. Fuck. Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. Hagendale says, I find a lot of Bitcoiners miss the sovereignty maximizing that should go well beyond Bitcoin. Will be interesting to hear this. Yes, we got a good, well, I wouldn't say it's good, but we'll talk about it right away. Give me some time to warm up and apparently get everything working again. Sheesh. I don't know. It's not working. Don't really know what to do, to be honest with you. Okay, well, I guess we're just going off a single screen today. Okay, well, that's okay. That's okay. C90 FTW, C90 for the win. Good morning, Jordan chat. Good morning. We got a bunch of fellas from the UK. Jay, actually, there's somebody in the chat. I don't know if that was, I don't know if it was Neil or not, but somebody said they were in the same city that Jay's in, or same area at least. So that was kind of crazy. There's not a whole lot of people here. So it's kind of crazy that there's a couple of people from the same town over in the UK who watch the show. To me, anyways, I think that's kind of crazy. But it was funny. I was talking to Joey from Satch Venture. Hold on. What a show. I don't know. We'll see. But I was talking to Joey from Satch Venture the other day, and he said, he asked if I was happy with the growth of the channel as of late. And I said, yeah, it's been good. Channel's been growing good. But, 12,000 subscribers we got now. I think the first time we talked, I had 3,000, he said. So it's been good. But I said, like this channel should have 5 million subscribers. And that's nothing to do with me. That's just everything to do with Bitcoin. Like it's just amazing to me that more people aren't talking about this and more people aren't interested in learning about what Bitcoin is, because it is the biggest thing, in my opinion, that's ever happened to this world. Truly. I really believe that. And, you think back to 1911 when there was a big ship that crashed and who was on that ship and what they opposed, and then what was created a year later. They didn't waste any sort of time. And that was the Federal Reserve. And for 111 years, we've been essentially slaves to this system that they created. No man should be able to print money, and no man should work for something that one man can print. And so to me, between Bitcoin, and that's what I told the show today, Bitcoin is the tool, sovereignty is the goal. But, there should be way more people in this chat right now. There should be 1,000 times more people in this chat learning about money, learning about Bitcoin, learning about freedom, learning about privacy, learning about security, learning about sovereignty, learning about all these different things that I'm going through myself. So yeah, it's good, but like we're nowhere near where we should be right now. We're just not. And I don't know if it has anything to do with us or our ability to, share what we know with others. It's just others' willingness to care. And it's sad. It really is. Clark, good morning. Good morning. Jake, Good to see you, man. MPC says, I watch your videos all the time. I just lurk around. I don't really comment that often. I think I'm going to start, though. Nice. Yeah, I'm sure if you asked, I don't know. I'm sure if you asked Killer, Frank, Paulo, Buck 52, Andrew, Ginger, Jay, I'm sure if you took a poll of these folks and said, would it have been more beneficial for you to just watch the videos, or would it be more beneficial for you to comment and interact and join a community and learn from that community and build things with that community? I'm sure they would all say that their time was well spent getting to know people and joining the community. So I'm going to have some news about the community as well. Oh shit, sorry. Man, the Zap stream's down for me today. I'm gonna have to put it up on this on my phone today. This second monitor isn't working for me right now. But I see that Josh sent a Zap, so we need to definitely acknowledge that, wherever that is. Oh, we got 31 people over in the Zap stream. Wow. Wow. Okay, so we got we're doing it from the phone today. It looks pretty good on Zap stream today. Look at that, crystal clear. Okay, so let's go to, we had Josh is over there. Good morning, Josh. We had a miscellaneous anonymous NPub there. Good morning, everyone. I don't know who that is. Don't know. If anybody recognizes her. Josh zapped 8,888 sats and said, Arn, let's get some chaos today, eh? Bark or something if you can understand. Arnie boy. Arnie, there was a big deer in the yard this morning, and Arnie was losing his mind a little bit. Let's see. It was pretty close, actually. Unfortunately, I didn't get Arnie on here, but you know, nothing like watching videos on a phone on a computer. So there's that's the deer. Yesterday, I think there was a bear. We heard a bunch of grumbling, but yeah, lots of action around here lately. I didn't even show that freaking video of Arnie chasing the bears. Maybe I'll try to find it right now. Good video. And I shared it on our Bitcoin Citadel Nostr page yesterday with a I thought funny caption. That's definitely up for debate, but I thought it was pretty good. See if I can find it here quickly as we get through some more comments. Lux Guy, look at this. Morning, y'all. Can't believe people still look at the price. I agree. Not only look at the price, but like obsess about the price. And I mean, I'm not immune from it, right? I spent a lot of time price watching through my Bitcoin journey here. And yeah, you just get to a point where like I might check the price once a week, maybe, just if I have literally nothing else to do. But, you know, it used to be at the point where I would check it 3 times an hour. And it's not healthy. It's definitely not a healthy thing to be doing that. And it's not unhealthy, it's unproductive. It has no meaning for anything, honestly. Like, unless you plan on cashing out your Bitcoin within the next month, then why are you even looking at the price? Again, and I haven't talked about this for a while, but I think it's absolutely relevant still, that we're trained from a very young age. They don't teach us about money in school, and that's very intentional. And then you kind of go off on your own, and you have to learn these different investment strategies. And again, it's not something that they teach you. There's no course on investing, and there shouldn't be, because investing itself in the traditional markets is just a complete scam, truly. But the point of that, where I was going with that, is like, we're raised and taught and educated to be sellers, right? From a very young age, we learn the buy low, sell high. And if you have that mentality, somehow you're way ahead of everybody else. Buy low, sell high. And so that's how people are still thinking about Bitcoin, is that they're going to wait for this like really low price magically, and then they're going to sell it in a couple of years or a couple months and turn a profit off of it. That's not what Bitcoin is. That's not at all what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is something that you buy. Whenever you have dollars, you trade those for sats. And you hold on to those. You hold on to at least 88% of those sats forever for your family. And you'll never sell them. You'll lend against them in the future. And there's been a lot of people asking about my thoughts on lending and stuff. And, you know, maybe if we have some time today, we can get to that. But I just don't think we're there yet. Like, there's a whole lot more infrastructure that needs to be built out before I'm willing to give my Bitcoin to anybody else, even if it is a very small part of it. Okay, so let's see if we can watch it. There we go. So this is the post I made yesterday. This is live footage of Arnie chasing away the bears and bringing us back above 100K. See if I can make it bigger. There we go. Okay, so this is in the driveway here. You can see a couple bears walking through there. And Arnie thought, I don't know if Arnie was chasing them away or trying to play with them. But yeah, this one didn't like Arnie very much. Took a little run at him. I think they'd have a hard time catching Arnie. I know bears are fast, but I know I've seen Arnie run before. And he's very agile, very agile. So there you go. That's a little fun clip for today. Homesteading is the goal, according to Clark. I don't know if that's the goal for me or not. I've thought a lot about that too, but I like the idea of it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where things lead here in my life. I seem to have a different perspective every day almost on it. Okay, Donnie. Good morning, my friend. We are live. Jake says, sounds like a union issue when the parts stop working. Bluntman Bitcoin, look at that. Good morning. Good to see you. Clark says they stole our country. Who? Who did? Who's that? Oh, I don't even know who I was talking about. Hagendale says retail is so slow to wake up the cycle. Pretty sad to see with all the tailwind. No doubt. No doubt. Dope collector. Gatsby says they think they understand it already. True. True. McHoddle says, good morning, brother. I got a couple minutes before I'm off to the fiat mines. Good morning. Thanks for stopping in. Johnny. Good morning. Gatsby says debt has confused the masses. Yeah. I don't think that Bitcoin's going to take away debt. I think people are always going to need credit to survive, at least in our lifetime anyways. I don't know what it looks like 100 years out, but there's definitely going to be debt needed. But it's the creation of money and the creation of new money when you take on debt. That's a problem. That's the whole problem there. So I do think that Bitcoin is going to fix that aspect of it, because the nice thing about Bitcoin is you're not going to need a credit score anymore. You're just going to be able to put up your Bitcoin as collateral, and somebody's going to give you dollars for it, whether that's fiat dollars or treasury dollars or USDT, whatever that is, whatever we're paying things with in the future. You're going to be able to loan against your Bitcoin without any sort of like credit check, right? Because if you have your Bitcoin there, you have your collateral. That's all that people are going to need. And you're going to be able to lock that into a escrow account, into a multi-sig, and you're going to be able to get some dollars for that and basically fund your whole lifestyle with that. But you got to be careful. I think that's the people that, or the point that people are missing right now, is that as we prepare for that, like, again, I don't think we're ready for that yet. I don't think that I'm ready to take on a loan against my Bitcoin. Although, two different tangents here. Although I do really like Ledn. And I've heard about them before. I've heard lots of good things about Ledn before, but I actually just watched an interview with the CEO. I think he's the CEO, or at least the founder of Ledn. And he was talking about how they started the company, where he came from. He was in Canada. His family's from Venezuela. They couldn't get any financing for their mining company because it's a really cool story. And I got a lot of respect for that guy. And so I might just play around with Ledn a little bit just to see how it works. But the thing that people are missing, I think, about using Bitcoin as collateral is that you have to be very careful and you have to pay very close attention to, and you have to start this today. This isn't something you're going to be able to do when the time comes. This is something that you have to do today. And you have to say, okay, here's my UTXOs within my wallet. Because remember, a Bitcoin wallet is essentially just a sum of all your UTXOs. So every time you receive Bitcoin into your wallet, that creates one UTXO. And you look at your wallet and it shows a balance there. That balance is just the sum of all your UTXOs. It seems pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of intricacies there. And one thing you need to be aware of is managing those UTXOs, because you don't want to give away your whole stack. Not your whole stack, but like the knowledge of your whole stack. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you were somebody who's listening to somebody on YouTube saying you should have a minimal amount of UTXOs in your wallet. And maybe you're just like, you know what? I'm going to take this to the extreme. I'm going to have one UTXO. So the problem with that is, in the future, if you ever do go to get a loan against your Bitcoin, you're going to have to send them a part of that Bitcoin, of that UTXO. So let's say that you have one UTXO, one Bitcoin, and you want to go to the bank and get a loan. They're going to say, okay, well, you got to send this much Bitcoin into this wallet. We're going to create a multi-sig for this. We're going to give you the loan proceeds. And so you send them, let's say, 1 million sats from your one UTXO. The problem with that is that they're going to be able to follow that back, and you've all of a sudden KYC'd your entire stack to the bank. And it might be KYC'd. You might have bought it at different exchanges that had KYC implications and requirements on there. But now the bank knows that you have one full Bitcoin. Do they need to know that? Absolutely not. And so these are the kind of things that you need to be planning for and preparing for as we move into this new financial system. You have to have your shit together so that you don't compromise your whole privacy. Does that make sense? Hopefully. If it doesn't, you got to spend some time learning about your UTXOs. Nick, good morning. So one thing about that I'll mention. Holy, what the heck happened here? Somebody sent in 15,000 sats to Arnie's wallet. 15,000 sats. Wow. Thank you, whoever the heck that was. Did so anonymously. That is, we call those angels. We call those angels. So thank you to the angel, whoever just sent in 15,000 sats. Also, we got Letha over in the Zap stream. Good morning, Letha. Says Amethyst is great too. I have to get my wallet working. And the Bitcoin nurse just zapped 108 sats and said 808 sats for 808K day. Let's go. Ken Lasers over in the Zap stream too this morning says, how do we get the YouTube crowd over to Zap stream? Well, you know what? Right now, how many people do we have on the Zap stream? I see 31 people. I don't know if that's up to date or not, but that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Bitcoin Nurse said we just hit 108K. Nice. Grinder zapped. The Grinder's here. Good morning, the Grinder, my man. Zapped 121 sats and said, good morning, Jor and Arnie. Grinder, I haven't seen your streams for a while. Are you still streaming? I'd like to get in there sometime. And Ken Laser zapped 420 sats saying, let's take this higher. Let's take this biatch higher. Thank you, Ken Laser. Grinder says, yeah, obsessed about 1 to 5K movements above 100K. That's the crazy thing is like in a decade from now, it's going to be laughable how much attention people paid to like, oh, now it's it dropped down below 100. Now it's at 101. Now it's 103, and people are getting bored. It's like you had the biggest opportunity in human history to pick up sats at any price, whether it was 80, 88, 108, 188. You had the biggest opportunity in human history to buy sats, and you were fucking around worrying about the price. Anytime you can get Bitcoin for under $2 million, I think that that's the deal of a lifetime today. But apparently YouTube doesn't agree with me there. Apparently YouTube doesn't agree with me. Buck52 says people like to FOMO and buy at the tops, always buy assets when they're unloved and ignored. Yes, exactly. Philippe says, hello from Brazil. Great content on your channel. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you. I recognize that face. Hagendale says, I think people are drowning from the cost of living and uncertainty from global turmoil. Knowing Bitcoin is a solution to all those things takes a lot of time, investment, and humility. Absolutely. Absolutely. I still don't, I kind of go back and forth with this all the time. I'm like, people are struggling, people are working hard, and people just don't have time to learn about Bitcoin. But then I'm like, you know what? If you're in that situation where you're working that hard and not getting any further ahead, at some point you have to ask yourself, what the fuck am I doing here? What is going on? And I'm pretty sure that's what led the majority of people into this stream today, is because you realize that there's a problem with the system that we've been living in. And when there's a problem with it, you kind of have to do something about it. Just like a frog sitting in a pot and the water's boiling and it's starting to get warmer and warmer and warmer. And at some point, you're going to have to jump out of that pot. And for some reason, people are just like, the water's boiling in the pot that they're in right now, and they're doing nothing about it. And this was the analogy that I used on the Maple stream the other day, or the Maple clip, whatever it was. I said, think about 3 different pots on a stove. The average person, people like us, our pot would be about this small. We don't have a lot of time. It's boiling. You have a very small pot. It boils faster than a larger pot. And so there's a lot of people sitting in these pots right now, and the water's just getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And they're not doing anything about it. Whereas you have a bigger pot there, that's like the millionaires of this world. They have more time. They have more water there. They have a bigger pot, and they can afford to wait a little bit longer and then jump out eventually. And then, of course, you have billionaires, which is basically like a bathtub sitting on the stove, because that thing's huge. They have a lot of time. If you're a billionaire, you could probably live off a 2% interest rate for the next 300 years. So they have a lot of time. Actually, forget a bathtub. They pretty much have a Titanic ship sitting on a stove. But the people whose pots are this big and they actually have to give a shit about this right now, they're the ones doing nothing about it. And it's just insane to me. And I don't know what it's going to take. I really don't. And, I don't really blame people either, because the whole reason for this is because of the media, the mainstream media. All they do is feed bullshit down people's throat day in and day out, over and over again. And they keep them distracted. They keep them in fear. They keep them emotional. And then you combine that with the fiat system that's literally stealing their time and energy every single second of the day. They're getting poorer and poorer because they're printing more and more money. You combine those two things, and how could you blame people for not knowing what the hell's going on here and what to do about it? So the whole point of this channel was to bring this stuff to more people like us, the average people, the people in a very small pot. And I don't know, it's frustrating some days, but at the same time, it's like, we really need to focus on the people who want to learn. I think that's the main takeaway. And that's what I'm trying to do. But it's, it's hard some days. So poor me. Gronky Tonk Man says, why Aqua Wallet keep Bitcoin in liquid Bitcoin and you have to swap over to Bitcoin if sending to my cold storage? Flip it to Strike or Coinbase. I can transfer, explain. Grunky Tonk Man, I appreciate the $5 chat there, my friend. But I don't know what the hell you're asking. Why Aqua Wallet keep Bitcoin in liquid Bitcoin, and you have to swap it over to Bitcoin if sending to my cold storage? Flip it to Strike or Coinbase. I can transfer, explain. I mean, I'll do my best to answer this. I don't know for sure if this is what you're looking for here, but like the Aqua Wallet is really nice. It's my favorite mobile wallet that exists. Although I've heard lots of good things about Cove Wallet too. I haven't tried it yet because it's only available for the iOS, and all my iOS devices are 10 years old. But the Aqua Wallet itself is very handy, very versatile, because you can send Bitcoin into this wallet, and you actually hold the keys to this. And this is something you have to watch for within Bitcoin, is that if you want to actually own the Bitcoin and not just an IOU from somebody else, you have to have the 12 or 24 words associated with that wallet. So with Aqua Wallet, you have 12 words that they give you. So you do have ownership of that Bitcoin. It's a non-custodial wallet, and you hold the keys to that wallet. Within Aqua, you can hold Bitcoin, on-chain Bitcoin in there. They consider that a savings account in your Aqua Wallet, which I like. It helps the average person kind of, conceptualize things a little bit better. You can also hold it on Lightning or Layer 2, Lightning Liquid. Very handy. Very handy. And also on Aqua, you can hold it in USDT, Tether. So within this wallet, you can hold all 4 of those options: Bitcoin on-chain, Lightning, Liquid, and USDT. So what I use that for is, instead of holding, like, let's say I have a recurring buy at Bitcoin Well, which I do. And I encourage everybody to have a recurring buy at somewhere: River, Strike, Bitcoin Well. And instead of holding it with them, you actually just use Lightning. So you set it from Bitcoin Well to, let's say, a wallet of Satoshi or a Speed wallet. And you have your address in there. And every time you buy a recurring buy every week, that Bitcoin just goes to your Lightning wallet, Speed or wallet of Satoshi or Coinos. Once it gets up to be about 50,000 sats or 100,000 sats, that's when you can move it to your Aqua Wallet. So the flow there is Bitcoin Well, buying on Lightning, to a Lightning only wallet where you have a Lightning address, something like Speed Wallet, Wallet of Satoshi, Coinos. And then from there, you move it to your Aqua Wallet. And when you move it to your Aqua Wallet, again, you get ownership of that Bitcoin, which is pretty important. And so from there, you can either leave it there on Lightning, which you can pay for things online with, or you can let it build up to be like 100,000 sats, 200,000 sats, 500,000 sats. And from there, you can actually move it out of your Aqua Wallet and into your cold storage from there. So it really helps you manage your UTXOs. Because the flip side of that is, if you were buying Bitcoin on an exchange like Strike or Coinbase, and every time you bought it, you sent it to your cold storage, if you're buying small amounts, you're going to create UTXO hell for yourself within your wallet, within your cold storage wallet. So that's why it's important to utilize Aqua for something like that, where you can actually manage your UTXOs and avoid future pain. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if you're still here or not. But anyways. Ginger says, this isn't Fight Club. The first rule about 88 Sats Radio is to talk about 88 Sats Radio. That's right. That's right. Great comment there. Okay. What else do we got on the Zap stream here? Bitcoin Nurse says, watching the price helps hold conviction. It's pure psychology. For me, it's fun to watch my net worth grow exponentially while laughing my ass off. That's fair. That's fair. Sergio zapped 33 sats, and Sergio zapped 2,100 sats. Thank you, Sergio, my man. Good to see Sergio in the... Oh, what's going on here? Kieran's in here. Kieran says, got you a short URL. https://zap.stream/jor. Wow. That's kind of cool. For all my YouTube friends here. Let's try this out. So we got https://zap.stream. This is directly from the creator of Zapstream. Just got me a custom URL. That is fucking badass. Give that a spin. Give that a spin. Well, thank you, Kieran. That is awesome. Actually, the one thing I was going to talk about here, and I'll do it right away. Just give me a couple minutes here to catch up on comments, and then I'll talk about it, because Zapstream is a big part of my future strategy here. So that helps a lot, Kieran. Thank you. So for those watching later, it's zap.stream/Jor. That's where you can watch the show every morning. Every morning. You don't have to wait till Mondays. Hey, Bitcoin Citadel's in here too. Look at that. All right. Let's keep her rolling here. Sergio, I want to get to Sergio's chat though, because he sent a 2100 sat zap. Sergio says you could always chain hop or mix your Bitcoin and then send it to another wallet. But I do see your point. Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, Sergio, I know what you're saying, and I, agree fully. But I just think the average person isn't going to know what any of those things are. I'm talking to the person who bought Bitcoin back in 2025, just aped into it, bought a bunch, understands that they don't want to sell it, shouldn't sell it. They go to the bank and get a loan, and they're like, okay, yep, here you go, bank. Here's my UTXO. I'm just going to dox it for you to see my full Bitcoin. So yes, I do agree. And you know what, Sergio, there's probably going to be services in the future that help you with that. I just really don't think that the average person is going to be, even be aware of that. So that's the whole point of this channel, is for the average person, and, to make sure that we're not doing average person things. But I appreciate the comment there. Scotty. Oh man, I had some good laughs with Scotty last night on Jerry's channel. Every time he sent a comment in, it was 99 sats, and Jerry was just eating it up. Oh man, I was dying. At that. Good morning, Scotty. It's not Monday, not yet anyways, but I got good news for everybody here. Good news and bad news, depending on how you look at it. The Bitcoin nurse says, I'm going cross country the next week, orange pilling family members for the family Bitcoin treasury. Wow. Everyone else starting a treasury? Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. If you're actually doing that, that's pretty cool. Going cross country the next week, orange pilling family members. I'm guessing it's probably just a family trip, but it's still pretty cool either way. Sergio says Lightning versus on-chain. I keep both. I love Lightning, and it just kills me every time I hear some dipshit online say that Lightning's failed. I use Lightning every single day of my life. Every single day. And my life would be a lot more difficult without Lightning. I'll tell you that for free. But I think it's a good idea to have some of both. That's why I like Aqua, because it's very flexible. It allows you to hold Bitcoin essentially on layer 2 in Liquid. I think they keep it there. But you still get to maintain ownership of that Bitcoin because they have a private key with it. And Kieran said Liquid Bitcoin. No. I like Liquid Bitcoin. I'm a fan of Liquid. When I first started looking into Liquid a little bit, I didn't. That was the problem, is that I just didn't know what Liquid was. I didn't understand it. I heard a couple people say, stay away from Liquid because it failed. Nobody uses Liquid. But I actually really like Liquid. I think it's a very handy play. It's a side chain or layer 2 of Bitcoin that allows you to move it very cheaply. Dope Collector says sometimes you just got to knock some sats into someone. That's true. Nav says I wake up and the first thing I do is check the price. Been there, but I get it. You shouldn't be checking the price though that much. It's bad for your mental health. If you're scalping, it matters. Scalping what? Like trading? Of course. I'm not a trader though at all. BTC Backpacker in the house. I'm live. We are live. Cleaner Machine, Ian, thank you for being here, my friend. And I want to say thank you for the zap yesterday. I think you sent it right after the show ended. And I didn't get a chance to say thank you for that. So thank you. I believe it was yesterday. I think it was 2 days in a row, actually, where you zapped after the show and I missed it. So good to see you, Ian. Look at this, Jan. Hi from the Czech Republic. I do use Bitcoin as a savings account. Nice. I really, really, really want to go to the Czech Republic. That's where Prague is, right? I think the Czech Republic is actually light years ahead of the rest of the world in Bitcoin, and not many people talk about it. Not many people talk about it, but actually, funny story about that. Not really funny, but interesting. And it looks like Ian zapped today again, right? June 25th. Yes. Ian sent in his CYM zap of 2,500 sats. Thank you, Ian. But going back to Czech Republic here, the very first hardware wallet was invented in the Czech Republic. They have a very, very strong Bitcoin community in the Czech Republic, in Prague especially, I think. I think it was Trezor. I forget the guy's name. Was it Paulo? That's where the first hardware device was created. And actually, it was that same guy who was one of the ones, I believe, who helped develop Superbacked. I think he was on their advisory team and part of building Superbacked. So the creator of the hardware wallet is actually one of the main, I don't know if he's a funder or a part of building it or just an advisor on it, but he was there from the early days of Superbacked, which is kind of cool, I think. Frank says hodl and use it if needed, but mainly I will leave it to my kids. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. The people who crashed the Titanic. Yeah, who is that and why? That's what you got to ask yourself. If you don't know the answer to that question, you got to take a look. Who was on the Titanic and why did it really crash? And who was on the other ship, or who bailed on the journey, the voyage, last minute? And then what happened a couple of years later after that on a certain island in Georgia? Well, it led to 111 years of glorified slavery. That's what happened after that. I believe you can send Bitcoin from Aqua to cold storage. Yes, you can. It just has to be on the layer one. It has to be in your Bitcoin. So you can actually swap between USDT and Bitcoin. You can swap between Bitcoin and layer two. And depending on where you're sending it to, that's where you want to have your sats on there. So it costs a little bit of sats to be doing that, but it's worth it to me. Holy, we got a lot of comments here. All right, might be a long show today. Buckle in, strap in. I'm okay with that. I got a lot of things to talk about today, a lot of things to get off my chest. We can't forget about the Zap stream here because it looks like it's buzzing now. Thank you to Kieran, who got us a URL. Gronky Tonk Man says the link worked. I'm in Zap stream now. Now I have to figure out how to get you some zaps. And Groovy Shoe zapped 88 sats, said first time zapping sats. Look at this. Look what you've created here, Kieran. Look what you've facilitated. Unbelievable. Scotty says, good fun on Jerry's stream. If you can you tell me a bit about Arnie? I'm not 100% sure what his wallet is for. Speaking of Arnie, I think I heard him just show up here. Yes. There he is, right there. It's kind of dark. Good to see you, buddy. He's kind of dark. We'll keep him in the screen for a little while. But everybody wants to see Arnie all the time. On that note, actually, we're thinking about starting a YouTube channel for Arnie. It kind of got tossed out there in Jerry's stream last night. But I think I want to do it because I've been kind of sharing Arnie stuff on like this YouTube channel, but it's kind of confusing, I think, when you have Bitcoin stuff and then just a bunch of dog posts. So I want to create a new YouTube account for Arnie. What do we think about that? Should we? What do you think, Arn? It would probably just be a bunch of shorts. That's what it would be. Just a bunch of shorts of Arnie doing different things. And I think the first video that I'm going to share on there is actually from last night, where Arnie and I were playing catch in the living room, and he went to catch the ball, but he ended up headbutting it into the TV, and he was pretty shook up about it. So I was lucky enough to get it on camera. So that might be the first one we post. Okay, well, I'll let Arnie stay in here for a bit. It's kind of awkward here, though. Kind of awkward situation for me. Oh, no, we can't even see him anyways. Sorry, Arn. Thanks for coming by, though. But anyways, Scotty said, I'm not 100% sure what his wallet is for. So we got a couple different wallets for Arnie, actually. This one here, this is kind of just his long-term insurance, I guess. I think that everybody out there watching this should have different insurance funds for their kids, for their pets, for their roof, for whatever you need. You should have like a different Bitcoin fund set up for kind of like an insurance. I think that Bitcoin is the new insurance for the future because it just makes sense, right? Why would you pay somebody a monthly charge that you might never get to use, right? That's a shitty thing about insurance, is that you pay it so often, you pay so much into it, and you might never get to use it. And then it's just like money you use is wasted. So I would rather have like insurance funds that I create, that I manage. And if I don't end up needing them or using them, then they're still mine. Right? Like that's the way that it should be, I think. Again, going back to 1913, where this whole bullshit system spawned from, all this kind of stuff. Like it just doesn't even make any sense. And, you know, when things don't make sense, you find alternatives. So that's, this is for basically his insurance. So if something ever happened to him, you know, we need to had a big vet bill, that's what we plan on using those sats for. But the other wallet that Arnie manages himself is the Rescue Dog Fund. And I'm also going to have more information coming about that soon. But that one we're actually going to use for helping rescue dogs in the future. We're obviously going to wait until Bitcoin's price goes up and we can do more with the sats that we have. But yeah, that's the goal. The goal here of this channel is for the kids, for the dogs, and for the people. That might be my new, I kind of like the other one though too. I got two kind of catchphrases: actionable and logical discussion for Bitcoiners and future Bitcoiners. And for the dogs, no, for the kids, for the dogs, and for the people. McConnell says, People's Reserve is a lender with Bitcoin collateral that does not liquidate. I'm not a borrower, but I think worth looking into versus Ledn. I've heard that too, actually. And Daniel's a big fan of the People's Reserve. Every time I talk about it, somebody's mentions that. So it sounds like a pretty good alternative, but I'll probably try a few, honestly. What's the best way to limit it, hide the stack? I mean, that's a conversation for off the YouTubes. Jake says, found Sparrow and Nunchuck great for managing UTXOs. Yes, true. Jared says, what's up, Jor? I haven't been in the chat much recently, but I've been watching. Keep killing it, homie. Cheers, Jared. We are, and we will continue to. Clark says, how do you feel about using fiat to trade the markets for more fiat to buy more Bitcoin? Don't like it. Stay humble, stack sats, not just a catchphrase. Hamster wheel, yes. Brett says, also basic financial education in the schools here in America, at least, is very poor. Yes, and it's intentional, right? It's intentional. They do it for a reason. They don't want you to know how things work. They don't want you to look behind the curtain, and they want to keep you stupid. And they've managed to do that for 111 years, but no longer. No longer. Ginger says, I seen you can hold your keys with Koinos. Yes, you have to be a little bit more advanced, I think, to be able to do that. I haven't done that myself, but yes, you can do that. Jimmy says, I think the big thing holding people back from getting into Bitcoin, oddly enough, is self-doubt. They see the undeniable signs of inflation, housing prices, but won't trust their honest reaction to the raw data around them that something is wrong. Yeah, I agree. And I wish that I had this brought up. I wish my other screen was working here so I could manage this a little bit better. But, we're doing our best. That's all you can ask for, I think, from us right now. We're doing our best with what we have. But I wish I could find that because Sailor mentioned something like that yesterday. Damn. Oh, well. That's absolutely right. Absolutely true. Bitcoin Nerd says, Jor, you and Forrest should look at swapping from Wallet to Satoshi and Koinos to y'all's own Lightning nodes on your Start9 servers. Yeah, I think Forrest is diving into that a little bit right now. I just don't have the time to do that. It's not that I don't want to. I've just heard so many bad things about people running their own Lightning nodes that I don't think it's for me yet. I want it to evolve a little bit. I'm just not technical enough to be able to figure that shit out. And I don't have the brain capacity for it right now. So I do agree. That's definitely the way to do it. I just haven't got around to it yet, but I will. Hagendale says, I'm not sure if I will ever lend against the main portion of my Bitcoin. Good. I value the security and privacy of non-KYC plus Taproot plus multi-jurisdictional multi-sig too much to ever reveal it. Bingo. Bingo. Frank says, great UTXO information, Jor. Keep it up. Thank you, Frank. Clark says, I might need a drawing on a whiteboard to understand UTXO stuff and how to do it properly. Well, I'll tell you this, Clark. I'll give you a little secret here. A little secret for you. I don't know if it'll work, though. Good. Let me show you something. Let me show you something, my friend. All right, so this is brand spanking new here. This is brand spanking new, fresh off the press, and going to be a big part of the future here for the channel. But you can go to here, Clark. You can go here. This is school.com/88 sats. And so on there, I'm actually sharing all of I'm going to have a couple different things on there. And it's going to happen probably over the next month. But I'm going to have all of the 365 days of Bitcoin. So far, there has been 173 days. So every day so far in 2025, I've done a Bitcoin video about 10 minutes long, talking about different topics. UTXOs is a very hot conversation in there. So I'm going to have the 365 days of Bitcoin in there. I'm going to have our 21-day Bitcoin journey course. I'm going to put in there. I'm going to have our proof of work course that we did, course or whatever you want to call it, venture. And then I'm also going to put the generational wealth course in there. So if you join that and you got through all of those videos, you would be very, very comfortable with UTXOs, with your security, with managing your Bitcoin, all these different things, managing your private keys. So it's brand new. I haven't promoted it at all. I actually had somebody join before I even uploaded a video on there. So that's where you can find, and I think there's already a couple different videos about UTXOs where I actually break down like a visual of it and how the flow of it essentially. So that's what I would say to that. Drunky Talk Man says, thanks. I only had 150 characters to question it. I love your explanation. I was doing Bitcoin well, right to cold. I'll do Lightning the way you explained. Yeah, and you might have to actually go back and rewatch that because it can be a little bit confusing, I think. But if you just put it on a piece of paper, visualize the flow of it, and actually have that down on paper, I think that would help a lot. So again, Bitcoin well, Lightning, to a Lightning wallet like SpeedApp or Speed Wallet, Wallet Satoshi Koinos, and then to Aqua. And you can leave it in Aqua for a while because you hold the keys to that wallet. The other wallets are custodial, which means you don't actually own the keys to that. You just have an IOU from Wallet to Satoshi, Speed, and Koinos. So exchange, Bitcoin well, Lightning Wallet, Speed Wallet, Satoshi, Aqua Wallet. You can keep it there for a while because you hold the keys. And then cold storage once you have a big enough balance in Aqua. McWebb, what's up? Thanks for the constant education. Of course, man. Of course. It's taken some time, I think, to spread across the Bitcoin world, but we're taking slow steps here. McWebb says you recommended Aqua and also use Speed App. Are those good options as far as just accumulating? Because I'm kind of new in Bitcoin. Yeah, if you start with Speed Wallet and Aqua, I think that those are the two best places to start. So you're in a good spot. The only thing I'd say to that is with your Speed Wallet, don't ever leave like more than 10,000 sats on there. So when your balance in Speed Wallet gets up to be like more than 10,000 sats, just move it over to your Aqua. And what you're going to do there is you're going to go to your Aqua wallet. You're going to click receive, create invoice, set the amount that you want to receive into Aqua, and then send it from your Speed Wallet to your Aqua wallet. And make sure that you have your 12 words written down for your Aqua wallet in case you lose your phone or it dies or somebody steals it. Make sure you have your 12 words from Aqua in a very safe place. Birdie, little Birdie, good morning. Jen, okay, I'm having a hard time here. We're almost caught up. Sorry, I got a little bit crazy there in my head. Bitcoin Preg as well. Yes, the Trezor wallet. That's right. Zach says, great signal, Jor. Keep up the good work. Looking forward to the hoodie, man. Oh, man. I've had so many issues with those hoodies. I don't even know why. Like, these ones were pretty smooth. I'm just having trouble getting a couple of them to people, but other than that, they're pretty much all delivered. But our Maple Bitcoin hoodies, man, I don't know what the heck's going on. Every week I email them and I show up there looking for the hoodies and they're just not done yet. So they have a very big business. I wouldn't say that I'm their top priority, but we're going to get them. I'm really, really hoping tomorrow. But I've also been saying that for the last 3 weeks. So it's kind of out of my hands. McWebb, we got a couple different options for the hoodies. The We Are Right About Bitcoin ones. I have a couple of these left still here in my house. They're the limited edition ones. Wrong side. So these are in black and cream. These ones are a little bit more expensive because they're very high quality hoodies. But then our Maple ones are a little bit less expensive. And I mean, if you want to get a hoodie, either one of these, we did get some extras for Maple Bitcoin too. So if you want a hoodie, you can just shoot me an email and say, Jor, I want a We Are Right About Bitcoin, like this one. We Are Right About Bitcoin, or I want a Maple Bitcoin hoodie. Both are very nice. Country Club Hillbilly, good morning. McWebb says my small crypto balance is on the Titanic. Ardman, good morning. Pioneer Freedom. How's it? Good to see your channel growing, bro. Cheers. Pioneering Freedom. Good name. Are you referring to the monster of Jekyll Island when referencing the Titanic? Yes, I am. Wow, look at this. Ardman finally got a friend to get her Bitcoin. Her cold wall is on its way too. Makes me happy. Nice. Very nice. Oh, yeah, we're caught up. Look at that. So a couple different things here. I don't know if this is, hold on. Yeah, the Zap stream is buzzing right now. It's good to see 33 people in there right now. That's Sergio's favorite number, 33, or his Zap amount anyways. Gronky Tonk Man zapped 88 sats. Testing. Worked. Nice work, Gronky Tonk Man. Scotty says, a long stream, I'm going to have to grab more sats. And Josh says, Trudeau's ancestors sunk the old Titanic, eh? Yeah. Maybe. Who am I to say, right? Groovy Shoe says, Arnie's awesome. I also have a white German Shepherd dog. Nice. Wow. That is awesome. Josh says, yeah, Arnie only YouTube with bear chase downs and deer stalking. Instant sub here. And Scotty says, what is the rescue fund wallet? I will send a bit through my pups wallet, of course. Scotty, the address is pretty easy one to remember. It's rescue@koinos.io. I think that should work. There we go. I'm actually able to comment in there too. Cool. And my Path to Fire is here today. Wow, look at that. My Path to Fire, good morning. Mateo sent 369 sats, a Tesla Zap, and said, Zapstream is sweet. There you go. Live testimonial from Mateo. And Jake says, made it to the Zapstream. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'd like a Maple Bitcoin hoodie. All right. Yeah, you can just send me an email there and I'll get one ordered or get you one of our extras, depending on what size you are. Okay, so let's talk here because something pretty disturbing happened to me yesterday. And that's what the show is about. Wow, it only took me an hour to get to this story. Only took me an hour. But so I'll just give you a bit of a background here. And so recently I kind of wanted to slow down a bit. Not slow down, but just focus my attention a little bit elsewhere. Not outside of Bitcoin, but just building different things in different spots. And with our new website, Bitcoin Citadel, our new company, Bitcoin Citadel, I knew it was going to take quite a bit of my time. And I also wanted to focus a lot on the Living the Future community. So what I decided to do is I was going to take 1 day a week and I was going to do a live stream every Monday on YouTube. And we kept doing live streams every morning. It was all on the Living the Future chat, though. It was all on private, I guess you'd say. But yesterday, when I shared a video on YouTube, and it was probably one of the best performing videos that I've ever had. I think it had about 2,000 views in a couple hours, which is way more than I usually get. And not only was it doing very well analytically, I had several people throughout the day reach out and say, hey, one of the best videos you've ever made. And in Jerry's chat last night, people were saying, great video. Thank you for posting that. And the comments that were coming in. And so, you know, the video basically was about how to get to 1 million sats, some advice for getting to 1 million sats. And the focus there was thinking very long-term, right? Like, don't try to get this all done in 1 year. You should act with some urgency, but don't panic here and don't stress out about it. Just be consistent. So take this thing over 5 years, try to get to 1 million sats. And doing that, I calculated that it would be 550 sats per day, or approximately 57 cents worth of fiat per day if you wanted to get to 1 million sats, which I believe will hold unspeakable, unimaginable amounts of wealth in the future. So I said 57 cents a day, 550 sats per day to get to 1 million sats for 5 years. Very long-term focus. I didn't say go take out a whole bunch of debt. I didn't say sell all your investments. I didn't say take a whole bunch of leverage on. I didn't say any of that. I just said buy 57 cents worth of Bitcoin every day for 5 years, and you'll probably be a Satoshi millionaire. You'll have 1 million sats. Speaking to the average people, the people who don't have a whole bunch of savings or a whole bunch of capital in the old system. And YouTube decided that they didn't like it. So they took it down. They took the video down, and I'll read what they said about it here quickly for you. I didn't really want to get too far into it today because I don't want to, I don't want to shit on YouTube, because honestly, like, without YouTube, none of what I'm doing right now would be possible. So that's the first thing that I want to say is, like, YouTube has been the biggest driver of the community, of business, of growing Bitcoin, of everything. It gave me the biggest reach possible. So I love YouTube. I really do. But it's just things like this that make you question things, right? Like, I really believe that literally everything happens for a reason in life. And one thing I think back to is a couple weeks ago, or probably a month ago now, when I hit that deer. And at that point, I wasn't really. I'm still not really affected by it at all. Like, I wasn't hurt. I wasn't psychologically hurt. But I think it was just a good reminder from the universe to just, slow down a little bit, because at that time, man, I was going like very fast on the highway and in life. And I just took that as a sign from the universe and say, Jory, you got to slow down a little bit here. And I did. And that's kind of why I changed the YouTube setup. It's part of it anyways. But then I see this, and I think that, maybe this is just a sign, because they didn't suspend my account, obviously. But, it's things like this. So this is what it says. YouTube removed your content. It looks like the easiest and longest path to becoming a millionaire didn't follow community guidelines. To help keep our community safe, we removed it from YouTube. So what we found, we think your content didn't follow our harmful and dangerous policy. Content that contains scams, exaggerated promises, such as claims that viewers can get rich fast or have guaranteed returns, or other deceptive practices that take advantage of the YouTube community, isn't allowed on YouTube. Some examples include promoting cash gifting or other pyramid schemes, videos that promise you'll make $5,000 tomorrow with this plan. We make exceptions for educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic content. So they took the video down, took it off the YouTubes, because 57 cents a day from your own earnings, huge risk, lots of deception there. So anyways, I took that as a sign, and I said, you know what? A lot of my livelihood really depends on YouTube, and I don't like that. And part of being in Bitcoin, again, that's the reason why I titled the show today, Bitcoin is the tool, but sovereignty is the goal. And so with that, I really, it shook me up a little bit. It really bothered me, the fact that, not that they thought it was scammy or whatever their opinion is on it. I don't give a shit. But the point that I had, the issue that I had with it, is like somebody out there, and it might not even be a person, it might be AI. They have the ability to just like stop my life. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that. So to me, YouTube is a single point of failure right now in my life, and I want to try to go away from that. So a big part of the things I was going to talk about today was Zapstream. So that was awesome and perfect. And maybe even a sign from the universe that Kieran was in the chat and got me a brand new link to Zapstream, which is going to be very helpful. But the other part too is Rumble. And so what I wanted to do here today, I want to ask a favor of everybody here watching today and everybody who's watching this at a later time. I don't really ask for too much. I don't think I do anyways. But I want to ask you guys a favor today, guys and girls. So what I did this morning was I uploaded this video that they banned. And I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for this or not, but whatever. So what I did is I created a new account. I had one on there, but it was just like, it was very confusing. It had like 2 different channels on it, and I didn't really know which was which. And a lot of old stuff on there that I don't really want to have on my channel anymore. So anyways, I created this brand new Rumble account. I uploaded that video on there, the easiest and longest way to become a millionaire. And I know that YouTube can't take it down on Rumble. And I think I'm going to go pretty deep into Rumble. I didn't really want to, and mostly because it's very difficult for me on this side of things to set everything up every day. It's a pain in the ass. And I've been saying that for a while now, is that Rumble itself, very good intentions, but very poor from a creator's perspective. Somebody who uploads videos and live streams, it's very hard to navigate as somebody behind the scenes here like me. You have to put in it every day, different stream key, different URL. Nothing's like automated there. And so what I wanted to do, I wanted them to basically blow up the whole platform and just start fresh. And I know that that's a lot to ask of Rumble to do. But anyways, there's the new channel there. I'm going to be doing a little update here every couple minutes, checking on the followers, just holding you guys and girls accountable a little bit. And so I'm going to ask two things here. Number one, for the people within the Living in the Future community, you're going to be able to watch the shows every day, regardless, as members of Living in the Future. So I'm just asking you as a favor, basically, to go over there and subscribe. I need X amount of followers on there before I can live stream to Rumble. So just as a favor, even if you don't plan on using it or, whatever, but the people who aren't within the Living in the Future community, I'm going to start streaming the show there every day. So it's going to be for the Living in the Future community. It's going to be on Zap.stream, and it's going to be on Rumble. It's not going to be on YouTube anymore. And that might change in the future. I don't know. Again, I'm just trying to remove my single point of failure here, which right now is YouTube. So I do ask, Rumble sucks. Well, it doesn't suck. It sucks from my perspective. It's very difficult to live stream on there, and it's a pain in the ass. But honestly, like if you've ever used Rumble before, it's actually better than YouTube. I know YouTube has like the YouTube is basically like the blue messages on iMessage. It's just psychologically better on people. Like they like the visual aspects of it. So it's crazy how people are with that, with blue texts coming from an iPhone or green text coming from an Android. People just hate change. They hate anything that doesn't fit in their like normal routine. And I think the Rumble's the same kind of way. But the nice thing with Rumble, like that's better than YouTube, is that you can actually be scrolling your phone and still watch the video on Rumble. With YouTube, you need to pay them $12 a month to do that with a premium channel in order to like have picture in picture there and be able to use your phone without closing out of it. So with Rumble, you can have picture in picture. You can watch the video. You can still do other things on your phone. Plus, you can say whatever you want in Rumble on the chat. There's no restrictions like there is here. Very similar to like Zapstream, where you can share links. So that's kind of the play forward here. Is I'm going to keep streaming every single morning, but it's going to be for the Living in the Future community. They're going to get a link. It's going to be on Zap.stream, and it's going to be on Rumble. So you can see it. It's going to be a little bit more work for you, but if you're, interested in being here, interested in supporting the channel, that's the way to do it. It's hard to gain followers on there for some reason. That's true. It is. There's not as big as a reach as YouTube. But again, from the viewer's perspective, I would argue that it's actually better than YouTube. From my perspective, much worse. But from the viewer's perspective, Rumble is actually much better experience on there. So that's what I'm going to tell you. And so it's going to be exclusively on Rumble, Zapstream, and for the Living in the Future community going forward here. So that's my ask of you today. Again, I don't ask a whole lot, but I'm going to start taking Rumble a little bit more serious. And the thing about that is like Rumble's been doing some good things. For real. Like throughout the whole last 4 years of the Biden administration, they were the only streaming platform that actually didn't censor and didn't ban anybody on there that I'm aware of. They've also adopted Bitcoin. They have a Bitcoin treasury. Their company has a Bitcoin treasury. They've been buying Bitcoin. They are funded or Tether has actually donated money to Rumble to help them improve their platform over there. And they're actually going to have Lightning and USDT, I believe, coming soon to Rumble. So Rumble is definitely a platform that we should be supporting. I feel like, again, this is a sign from the universe to, do this before something else happens to me. Again, I don't expect it to. This was just a warning. The channel's still up, but it just really makes me sick to my stomach knowing that a couple words that I say could really derail my life. And I don't want that to happen. I do my best to add as much value to people's life through this channel. And it would be a shame if something stupid like that were to just like end things for me. So I don't want to have that even be an option. Country Club Hillbilly says that's fucked up. It is. And you know what the worst part for me was? Is that later last night, I'm listening to Michael Saylor. Pretty much the exact same thing that I was talking about, legitimately, except his was to millionaires and billionaires. He was telling people to get a $1 million loan to buy Bitcoin, to go and ask your grandparents for a loan to buy Bitcoin. He was saying that in 21 years from now, Bitcoin is going to be worth $21 million per Bitcoin. He was literally saying the exact same message as me, just with talking to a different audience. But yet his video is on there. There's no issues with Michael Saylor talking about it for billionaires and millionaires. But for somebody like me who's trying to help the average person in a very small way, 57 cents per day, to get into the game here and to change your future for your family, and YouTube fucking takes it down. So I am going to appeal it because I think that it's bullshit. But I want to take some actionable steps here in the meantime to eliminate that risk for me. But I do see, look at this. We got Ardman just followed us on Rumble. Al Smith just followed us on Rumble. Zahul just followed us on Rumble. Samantha Nakamoto just followed us on Rumble. Oh my God. That is awesome. And I want to say thank you very much because, you don't have to do that. I can't force you to do anything, but I very much appreciate it. For anybody who takes a couple minutes of their day today and signs up for a Rumble account and subscribes to 88 Sats over there, not only are you going to get to watch the show every day going forward, but it helps. It helps a lot. So thank you. Ardman says, I was wondering why it disappeared. Yeah. Fucking crazy. YouTube is changing, not in a good way. I thought actually YouTube was moving in the right direction. It seemed like they were really changing the way they do things. There was less people getting kicked off of YouTube. Less of my content was getting flagged. I just know that based on this kind of stuff that I talk about, even on today's show, like I know that I'm not promoted as much as the channel should be. I don't know if you call it shadow banned. I hate that word. I think that that's just a stupid excuse that people use because they're not putting out enough good content. But I don't talk about things that the overlords like. So it's been working against me, but I've been kind of pushing through it. But yeah, that one really hurt. It hurt. Dalton says that's ridiculous. The amount of scammy ads they play. No doubt. My God. Somebody left a comment on the channel the other day saying they lost a bunch of Bitcoin because they sent it into a Saylor video. And they just let those, there's like 40,000 people or bots watching these live streams, and they have an AI Michael Saylor telling people to send Bitcoin and get more back. Like those are two different worlds we're talking about here. McWebb says, I don't understand what caused it. It wasn't like you were saying anybody was getting rich. You were just stating a simple way to go about purchasing Bitcoin. Exactly. Like that's what bothered me the most about it, is because, I've said some stupid things on here where I was worried that they might, do something with the channel. But like that, no, that wasn't one of them that I thought would be in trouble. So anyways, that's the plan here going forward. So again, if you're watching this live or later, That's what we can look forward to here for the channel. Is we're going to be leaning more on Zapstream and Rumble. And we got Ratik Adana. Ratik Ahat. That's a hard one to say. Just followed. Andrew Fortier followed. And McJake just followed. Thank you, everybody. Wow. Thank you. They used to run ads. Exactly. Yeah, they actually, YouTube allowed them to run ads with like AI generated Sailor, AI generated Brad Garlinghouse, getting people to send in their Bitcoin and XRP through an ad. Ian says 57 cents per day probably will not work in a 5-year plan. So again, I would go watch that video if you haven't yet, because I acknowledge the fact that Bitcoin's probably going to go up significantly in the next little while. So I kind of had something else to say about that as part of the video. So I do agree with you, Ian. But it still doesn't change the 550 sats per day. It might just cost you a little bit more. I think by year 5, it was costing about $2.50. But the point of that video, again, was to get people to think more long-term. Understand that you can't accomplish a whole lot in 1 year. It takes some time. And the other part of that too was showing that even though Bitcoin might go from $100 to $150 to $250,000, you know, if you're focused on compounding those, it's not going to cost you that much more, even when it's $250,000 Bitcoin. It's going to be 57 cents versus $1.80 for those 550 sats. So it's not like this thing's going to run away from us. We're still going to be able to keep buying, at least for the next decade, I would say, or until people stop accepting fiat for sats. But that was the point of the video. In 5 years, 57 cents would get you 1 sat. Maybe. Well, if Bitcoin is not money per the government, what's the big deal? Exactly. At least they allow free speech. Yes, that's the nice thing about Rumble, is that they don't censor people on there. And that's, you know, why I think we should be supporting them, other than they have their Bitcoin company. So Tice says, just followed your Rumble account. Hagendale signed up and followed. Nice. We might actually have an active chat. And I'm actually going to, the last thing I wanted to say on that was I think that there's a way where I can actually bring in the comments from Rumble and show them on StreamYard. So just like people chat in YouTube and I can bring up the comments, I'm pretty sure there's a way I can do that with Rumble and connect StreamYard to the comments on Rumble. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to practice today. Hagendale says the long-term goal of any sovereignty-minded person should be anti-fragility in all manners of life. Yes. Be it independent platforms, information sources, income, Plan B citizenships, and using local AI tech. 100%. And, you know, that's probably going to be the main focus here of this channel going forward, is sovereignty. Because there's enough fucking YouTube channels out there talking about what the price is that day and the charts and all these different companies who are buying Bitcoin now. There's enough of that. And yeah, it's exciting for us, but it's like we need to improve ourselves. We need to increase our sovereignty and our privacy and all these different things. And so this is kind of the first step for me towards that. In a very small way, but I think it's going to be, you know, the path forward here. Rumble is like Bitcoin, says Paul. YouTube is like internet fiat. We like the crumbs they throw at us, but we need to obey to benefit from it. Yes, exactly. Followed you on Rumble. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Looks like Big Daddy 69 also just followed. Nice. Is that you, Paul? Big Daddy 69. Oh, shit. Okay. So what else? Oh, I want to talk about a couple different things from the Sailor thing too. Is that okay with everybody? I don't know. We could call it a day. I'll be like, Jerry, should we keep going, or do you guys want to go home? You guys want to shut her down for the day? I think they want to shut her down for the day. That's my favorite part of Jerry's show when he does that. I usually try to chime in where possible as well. But I do want to talk about a couple different things. I talked about the Saylor video and, the fact that he was able to tell people to go get $1 million loan from the bank. That's okay. Bitcoin's going to be worth $21 million in 21 years. Go leverage your house. Go ask your grandma for a loan and buy Bitcoin. He's okay at saying that. But I tell people work hard and put 57 cents into Bitcoin every day, and YouTube pulls the plug on me. Fucking unbelievable. I'm still just cheesed. I'm sure you can tell. Okay, so a couple notes that I had here on the Saylor video. Did everybody have a chance to watch the Saylor video? We're going to keep going. Because I'm probably going to stay on YouTube for the rest of the week. And then a lot of things are going to change July 1st. And we're going to stop streaming to YouTube. We're going to be on Zapstream and Rumble, or you can join the Living in the Future community. But I just don't want to mess around with this shit anymore. So did everybody here have a chance to watch the Saylor video? Because I want to talk about a couple of different things on it. I might even share a clip here of it if we don't mind. But anyways, so sorry, Scotty, I'm missing some zaps here from you. So Scotty zapped 99 sats and said, hope that helps the pups. I don't have the wallet up right now, but I appreciate anything you sent there, Scotty. Thank you, my friend. The Bitcoin nurse says YouTube is silencing Bitcoin and crypto channels right now. Demonetization. And that's not even what I'm worried about, honestly. Like if I lost the AdSense revenue from YouTube, yeah, it would suck, but it's not going to change my life, right? The thing that it would really hurt for me is the reach and the goals here, right? For the kids, for the dogs, and for the people. If they take that away from me, that's a problem. Scotty says their policy is harmful and dangerous. Their words, not mine. Yeah, true. NPub1XS says they don't allow math on YouTube. That's literally all it was, math. Larry says hard to gain traction on Rumble. I agree, but we're gonna have to do it. It's the hard path, and we're used to that by now, I think. Another frog says I do like Rumble. Waiting for the wallet. Yeah, that's the other cool thing too. We watched that Tether clip a couple weeks ago where Paulo from Tether was talking about funding Rumble and that they're creating an actual Bitcoin wallet in Rumble. So there we go. It sounds like we got some Rumble fans on here already. It might be an easy transition. Scotty says, I'm not on Rumble yet, but I will look into it. Thank you, Scotty. And Scotty says they don't want regular people buying Bitcoin, no doubt. And just so you guys know, every time Scotty sends a message here, he also sends 99 sats. And, we actually gave him his own Zap a while ago. So it looks like it's paying off. The Scotty Zap, Scotty Too Hottie Zap, 99 sats. All right. So Hagendale says, where can I find the Saylor video? I'll bring it up for you right here, and I'll share the link with you. Okay, it was a good speech. I love every time Saylor has a new presentation and what he's going to talk about. There were a couple things that I actually disagree with Saylor on, which I want to talk about today. I usually agree with a lot of things that Saylor says, but a couple things I didn't. So here's the video if you want to check it out later, if you haven't yet. I just shared it in the chat there. And if you're watching this later, if you're unable to make the live stream today, I'm going to be, I'll put all these links in the comments here for you. Oh, look at this. We had BTC Backpacker commenting already on that video. Thank you, BTC Backpacker, my man. And they are also, BTC Backpacker also followed along with Live Good with Sabian. Wow. Thank you, everybody. That makes me feel a lot better, honestly. Okay, so a couple different things. I'll start with maybe what I'll maybe start with a couple things that I did agree with him on. So the first one, he was talking about a Bitcoin strategy. I mean, he renamed his whole brand, rebranded, um, rebranded to be strategy. So it's obvious that he wants to promote that as like kind of a thing, right? Where develop your own Bitcoin strategy. I agree with that. I think that the one thing that a lot of people within Bitcoin right now are missing is a strategy. I don't think that they have a plan in terms of what happens if the price tomorrow goes to $5 million. What happens tomorrow if the price goes to $40,000? All of these things have happened and they probably will happen again in the future. And, if we look out in the horizon, as Saylor says, he kind of had the pointing. That's what the video had this time. He was pointing out into the horizon. And if we look out 21 years, yeah, we're going to be in a very good spot. We are. I don't think anybody here would disagree with that statement, especially if you're holding Bitcoin on June 25th, 2025. It's going to be good, but there's going to be a lot of different things happen during that time. There's going to be a lot of volatility. There's going to be a lot of different threats within Bitcoin. There's probably going to be a lot of exchanges and public companies that are burned by going too aggressive and over leveraging themselves. There's going to be a lot of things that happen. There's going to be a lot of people who sell their Bitcoin. Probably within the people watching this today, there's going to be a lot of people who sell their Bitcoin because it doubled and they want to take some fiat profits off the table. And all those sats that they sell back for fiat, that's going to end up in the hands of Michael Saylor and Larry Fink and Donald Trump and Eric Trump. And we're never going to see those sats again. The average person will never see those sats again. So I think it is imperative that you have a Bitcoin strategy today. And it doesn't have to be a very big, elaborate document. You just need to play through these things in your head, right? One of the things that I talk about a lot, and I've talked about in the 365 days of Bitcoin, is that the one thing you should be doing here is visualizing. Visualizing what could go wrong. Like actually taking some time. I said, the one thing that professional athletes do very well compared to the average person is visualization. Whether it's like a F1 driver or a ski racer, somebody who skis, ski racing, or even golf. Like the one thing that elite athletes and professional athletes do much better than the average person is they visualize things. They think through, they play it in their mind. They think about what could go wrong. They think about how they're going to adapt to that. And then when it actually happens, they're already equipped to do that. And you could think about this in terms of your strategy, in terms of maybe selling some, your strategy for DCAing, your strategy for leverage, how you can access more fiat to buy Bitcoin. You should have a very clear strategy of what you want to do here. And how much of your stack are you going to lend to the banks or give to the banks as collateral in the future? How much of that Bitcoin that you have today do you want to keep forever? What percentage of your stack are you okay with spending if you need to? These are all things that you have to be thinking about. And the main thing there is, number one, how to get more. And number two is how to protect your Bitcoin. So there's a lot of different things here. And again, kind of going on this, obviously we have Bitcoin Citadel who can help you through all this stuff. But the other part too that I was going to mention was the school. I think that I'm going to have more information on this page here that you're going to know what to do with. That's UTXOs, that's security, that's private key, that's ways to think about Bitcoin, that's ways to manage your Bitcoin, all these different things. There's videos on this channel, and there's going to be way more in the future as I continue uploading them there. But you got to have yourself a Bitcoin strategy. And that's one thing that Saylor said that I 100% agree with, because there's just too many people out there right now who are just doing this blind. They're just buying. They have no clue what they're doing. They're focused on what the price is. They're focusing on what the projections are for the next 6 months and 6 years what Bitcoin's going to be worth at the end of 2025, when all they should be doing is learning how to increase your income and learning how to protect those sats. So those are, that's what I agreed with Saylor there on. Get yourself a Bitcoin strategy and play this thing out. 5 years, 10 years, 21 years. What does it look like? Where do you want your Bitcoin to be? Who do you want to have? Who's getting your Bitcoin if something were to happen to you? Are they going to be able to? If you got hit by a bus tomorrow, would your family be able to access your Bitcoin? It's a very simple yes or no question. And I would guess that of the 100 people watching the show right now, I would honestly guess that over 90 people don't have a plan for that. They don't have their inheritance plan in place. Their family doesn't know how to access their Bitcoin. They don't know how to send a Bitcoin transaction. They wouldn't know who to call about your Bitcoin. So kind of on that road, because I like giving some actionable advice here. So the first thing I would say is just keep it very, very simple. Stupid simple. Keep it stupid simple. Not keep it simple stupid. Keep it stupid simple. And get your Bitcoin strategy. Number one, there's no template for it. Just write down what you think about in the future in terms of your Bitcoin holdings. And then elaborate on that. Revisit that in a month from now. Has anything changed? Revisit that in a year from now. Has anything changed? And again, going through the process of that, you're going to actually visualize things without really sitting down and like meditating on it, right? Just get something on paper, your Bitcoin strategy. Second thing, get another piece of paper and say, if something were to happen to me unexpectedly tomorrow, this is what you do with my Bitcoin. This is how to restore my Bitcoin. This is where it is. Don't put your 12 words on there, obviously. Well, not obviously, but don't put your 12 words on there. But say, hey, if something unexpectedly happens to me, this is who I want you to contact. Could be your best friend who's in Bitcoin. Could be a coworker who knows about Bitcoin. It could be Jor, Bitcoin Citadel. Doesn't matter who it is. Just say, if something happens to me tomorrow, this is who I want you to contact to help you restore your Bitcoin. And with that, underneath it, this is the most important part. You say, under no circumstances will this person ever need 12 words. If they ask you for 12 words, run as fast as you can because they're trying to steal your Bitcoin. They will be able to help you without having 12 words. And the 12 words are here, or the 12 words are encrypted, or this is how you do it, whatever it is. But just say, this is how you restore the Bitcoin, or this is who you contact, and make sure that you put underneath that, under no circumstances will Jor need to know these 12 words, or your cousin or your coworker. They will not need to know these 12 words, so don't ever give these to anybody. There, very simple inheritance plan, not a solid one, but if something were to happen to you, I guarantee your family would be able to restore your Bitcoin that way. Whereas, again, most people, I don't think, have anything in place right now. And that should honestly scare the shit out of you. Because it doesn't matter how much Bitcoin you have today. It matters how much Bitcoin your family has in 20, 50, 100 years from now. And if you're half-assing things right now and just worrying about what the price of Bitcoin is going to be by December 31st, 2025, you're fucking this up. Bitcoin Nurse says, boom, Rumble followed you. Nice. Bitcoin Nurse coming in clutch. We got a couple more. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Just started following you. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you again. I'll do another reminder at the end here, but for those who have taken a couple minutes today to follow on Rumble, create an account on Rumble, it really means the world to me, honestly, because again, you don't have to do this. Everything here is voluntary, but it is, it's an ask because we're trying to become more sovereign here, more self-reliant and less reliant on the YouTubes. Scotty said, my biggest problem is spending sats on live streams. And Scotty zapped 99 sats again and said, I have started going through this with my better half, mostly because of you getting motivated to do it. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Again, every video that I do, every live stream that I do, I always think, if there's one person who this helps, then it's a win. And that's what I'm saying. Like, again, YouTube took the video down yesterday. And again, even if they suspended my account and demonetized it, I wouldn't really care. I'm not trying to make a living off of YouTube AdSense revenue. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to get this message spread as far as possible, because what's happening right now is that the average person is distracted, stressed out, in fear, very emotional, working their ass off, and they don't have time to learn about Bitcoin. They don't. And what's happening behind the scenes is millionaires and billionaires are buying as many sats and as many Bitcoin as they possibly can right now. And that's a problem. Even though it has no impact on Bitcoin long-term for the network itself, it's a problem for people who actually, the average person in the world. So that's great, Scotty. Again, you don't have to overthink this stuff. This doesn't have to be like a very elaborate strategy, but just have something in place. Think about this stuff and get yourself a very small inheritance plan built. And then when you're ready for it, like Frank and Duncan here, then you can actually set up an inheritance plan. But it takes a bit of time. It's going to take you probably a couple months, even when you get to the point of realizing that you want 21 sats inheritance plan. It's probably going to be a couple months. So anything could happen between today and a couple months from now, best case. So just get something down today. You don't have to, I'm not selling you anything here. I'm just telling you, have something down on paper so your family can access it. Otherwise, you literally have 0 sats today. 0. Everything you spent, all the time you spent earning that money, all the time you spent learning about Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. If you're missing this one very small thing in your setup, none of it matters. And Duncan's going through the same thing. Oh, Lucky's here. Lucky. Heard him meowing. Okay. So that's, so sorry here. I'm kind of lost or behind in the comments a little bit. But I do want to say to Paulie D, I believe this is from, yes, from Daisy to Arnie. Paulie D, 988 sats. Say thank you to Daisy. Say thanks. What? That's his way of saying thanks. Paulie D, thank you, my friend. Somebody also sent in 929 sats anonymously to Arnie's wallet. So thank you very much. Very, very much. Okay, we got the Zap stream running still. We got, yes, exactly. Trudge on. We're going to trudge on here. We're going to do it. Orwell's 1984 should be a work of fiction, but it's clearly not. Amen to that. Where are we here? We can tell. I think that was that I was fired up. Great presentation by Sailor. Yes, I shared that in the chat as well. Crypto GR33, Crypto Green, maybe. I've been waiting for all my favorite YouTubers to switch to Rumble. Well, it's your lucky day. It's your lucky day. You don't have to wait much longer. Oh, hey, buddy. Country Club Hillbilly says it's like the kid in the backyard taking the game, winning shot. 3, 2, 1, swish. Game over. Exactly. Exactly like that. Michael says strategy is easy. Put wallet keys in a printed form in a safe and let your family know about it. I mean, yeah. Yeah. That's the easy way to do it. But the problem with that, Michael, is what? What do you think I'm going to say? What's the problem with doing that? The first person who responds to this question from me is going to get a zap. What's the problem with doing this? The strategy is easy. Put the wallet keys in printed form in a safe and let your family know about it. What's the problem with that? What's the vulnerability there? I do agree that it's easy. I do agree it's a good first step for people to do that. Like, you know, if you're just getting into Bitcoin. But if you have half a Bitcoin or a full Bitcoin, this is not ever what you want to do. So the first person who tells me what's wrong with this, what's the vulnerability, they're going to win some sats. And there's a couple different answers here too, but there's one specifically that I'm looking for that is going to get the sats for people, the winner. Let's see if Zapstream knows the answer. Scotty Zap 99 sats and said, how safe is the safe? I mean, yeah, I'll accept that answer. That's a good one. Not what I'm looking for, but that's the right one. Ian says fire. Yep, that's another one. Even if you have a fireproof safe. Think about the wildfires in California. And, you know, when your whole block is shut down or your whole area of town is shut down because of the fires, do you think your safe's going to be there when you get back, when you're able to get onto your property again? And if the safe's still there, I mean, yeah, it's good to market a safe as being fireproof, but like, what happens if it's not? Fire, yep, good one. First person to break in is going there. That's a great point from Ginger. Great point. And that's a very good one. Moro, bingo. Moro gets the right answer. Printed in plain text. Also, someone can force you to access it. Yes, man. Wow, you guys are smart. Very smart. Printed in plain text. Duncan said yes. And so when we think about it this way, if we talk about like fire, Ken Laser also said fire can burn the paper. That's a problem, yes. But even if you take fire out of the equation here and you put it on titanium, this is still the problem with it, that is printed in plain text. Right. And I think that so many Bitcoiners get this wrong. And there's probably people watching this today who get this wrong, where you have your Bitcoin, you have your nice Coldcard Q, you did everything right. You bought it, you received it, you learned how to use it, you set it up, you generated your own private keys, you sent your Bitcoin there, you tested it, make sure you can send it out of there. And then all of a sudden, you put your 24 words right beside that thing. And again, I've done this. I did this for probably 2 years in my Bitcoin journey, where I had my very secure cold card sitting there, and right beside it was my 24 words, which pretty much totally defeated the need for a hardware wallet. I have this very secure device, Coldcard Q, with a PIN code, secure element. Somebody tries to access it, it'll probably brick itself after a couple attempts. Very secure. But then right beside that, I have my 24 words, where if somebody got that, they now have my Bitcoin. There's no security on 24 words on paper or on steel. And you have to be aware of this stuff, because I really feel like so many people just don't understand the implications of that. Mateo says one is none. Yes, this is also a good point. Mateo says plain text. Yes. And also says one is none and two is one and one is none. I mean, and on this note, let's go a little bit further with this. 2 is 1 and 1 is none. This is my mentality with everything. And I kind of messed up though too, because I thought, you know what? I have my 12 words here. They're on steel, but what if my house burns down? What if somebody breaks in and steals? No, that wouldn't really work there. But what I did was I took my 12 words and I took it to a different location, because I thought, you know what, if something happens to this house here, I want to make sure that I can still access my Bitcoin. So I took my 12 words and put them in a different house, somebody else's that I trust. So number one, as the Bitcoin nurse says here, can you trust your family? In this case, that wasn't my problem. I fully 1,000,000%, 1,000,000,000% probably trust my family. I do. I know not everybody can say that, but in my case, that wasn't my issue. But the problem was that if somebody broke into my family's house and found those 12 words there, my Bitcoin's gone. And maybe it's at my parents' house and maybe my mom left the door open and they left one weekend and somebody just walked into the house and found my 12 words there. And all of a sudden, all my Bitcoin's gone. So you do want to keep multiple copies of your private key and your recovery phrase, but you never want those to be in plain text. Never. Because there's probably not a whole lot of people in your life that, number one, you trust to leave that with, but also you're just opening yourself up to a bunch of vulnerabilities there. Plain text, yes. Single point of failure, also. Good point. $5 wrench, yes. Fire, yes. We do not have to write all the words on the paper steel, right? That is true. Hey, did I miss BitBilly here? Where did he come from? Shit, I did. Sorry, I got interested in the comments to this one. BitBilly. Good to see you, brother. Great to see you. 1508 says, amen, Jor, amen. And Hagendale says, scribbles down, don't trust your grandma. Yes, you should put that. Say, if something were to happen to me, contact Jor, but don't trust him. Don't give him your 12 words. Don't give him any information. He will be able to help you with the process without giving him any sort of information. And put that in bold. Put that in bold and underline and italics. Scotty says, I was just talking about encryption today too. Oh, I have a meeting right away. Whoops. Okay, shit. Just talking about encryption. Anyways, we're coming up to 2 hours here, folks. And I do apologize if you have sent in a zap that I missed because I'm all on one screen today. So it's hard for me to navigate everything here. I'll double check though. You know, this information is valuable. You know, we put prices on things on our Bitcoin Citadel, prices of different services that we have. But honestly, like this information could be the difference between your family having your Bitcoin in 10 years and not. And so it's really hard to put a price on this kind of information. It really is, I find anyways. So I hope that you're learning some stuff. Hopefully it sounds like people are taking this stuff seriously, but it's hard to put a price on it. So last time we had a live stream here, somebody asked about our new website and the website was down. I guess we forgot to pay our domain fees for the year. But there it is right there, bitcoincitadel.net. I know it's hard to put a price on this kind of information because literally it's priceless. If something I say or something we help you with at Bitcoin Citadel with is the difference between you having your Bitcoin and not in 20 years from now, it's priceless. So it's hard to put a price on it, but you know, you just got to take action. That's the number one thing. And if you learned anything today or another time and you would like to support the channel, you can send to 88sats@speed.app. And that wallet is live here. BitBilly says encryption. Yes, BitBilly gets it. BitBilly definitely gets it. I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, you can't argue that. That's why so many people are, you know, interested in our encryption service, 21 sats security and inheritance protocol. Not only does it encrypt your recovery phrase, but it also has an inheritance plan built around it. It's been popular, and I expect it to be even more popular in the future here. Quick laughs. Good morning. Hagendale says it's passable security measure if paired with a very strong password, but then you'd need another measure to protect that and give your family access. Yes, bingo. Bingo, bango, bongo. Morrow says QR code seed, passphrase, and a few other ways fixes this, but I prefer BIP85 and hide my sats in deterministic derivation paths. Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of different ways to do it. I think you want to keep it as simple as possible and robust as possible. And so for some people, you can get really crazy with it. You can get very, very complex and creative with it. But again, you got to keep in mind here, is your family going to be able to recover it? Life expectancy is the biggest scam that we have. Everybody thinks they're going to be around for the next 80 years. And so they just keep procrastinating and procrastinating. Ardman says, I'm creating a 3-layer font just as an idea, maybe to expand upon. Nice. Hey, Corey's here. A rare appearance from Corey in the chat. Good morning, Corey. Okay, so I did have a couple things. I'll save it for tomorrow, though. So again, what we're going to be doing here going forward is we're going to keep doing the daily shows. So I stopped doing it for about a month now. We were still doing it. But in the meantime here, while I'm kind of blabbing about the channel, if you have any questions about encryption, steel, paper, inheritance, 21 Sats, the service that we have, if you have any specific questions right now, great time to do it. And there are no questions that are off the table. Our whole thing with this service is we want to be as honest and transparent and fair as possible with it. So if there's any questions you have about it, please put them in the chat and we will address them. Please, please, please. And if not, then that's okay too. But so the plan here going forward is I'm going to keep doing live shows every day. We're going back to the daily Bitcoin journey. But the shows are going to be on 3 things. Living in the future. So if you're a member there, you're going to have access to it. It's going to be on Rumble, which I've shared the link for, but I know there's some new people here now. It's going to be on Rumble, and it's also going to be on Zapstream. So if you would like to be here and watch the show every day, I would highly encourage you, if you don't mind, even if you want to watch it on Zapstream or somewhere else, please go over and help me out here with Rumble. I just set up that account this morning before the show because YouTube took down my video from yesterday, and I'm pissed about it. Pissed. So again, I love YouTube. YouTube's been the best thing for me, but I just hate that they have the ability to strip me of my livelihood at any given moment. So that's my big ask for today is, if you don't have the financial ability to support the channel, this is a very easy and good way to be able to do it. So I appreciate everybody who has gone over there, taken some time and subscribed to the channel there. Okay. Hagendale says, I'm aiming to be around kicking when the last block is mined. Yeah, me too. But life's pretty unexpected, my friend. Life happens pretty fast. And, you leave your house every day, but you always think you're going to come back and you think you're going to do whatever you need to do that day. But there's a lot of people every day who never come back home. And I'm sure everybody's witnessed that firsthand in their life from a friend or a family member. Morrow says, thank you for the valuable discussions, Jor. Always great info and a fun way to encourage people to learn Bitcoin. No bullshit. Amen. No bullshit here. Scotty says, I was just talking about encryption today too. And Zap 99 Sats and said, have a good day, Jor. Well, we're not quite done yet, but we're getting there. We got a couple more comments to get through. Carter says, are all hot wallets unsafe? Well, I mean, yeah. But you also have to remember, like, you don't have to have your full stack in like a safe, right? Like, that's what we got to remember here. Whether you're talking about saving for the future, securing it for the future, having it in a very elaborate setup, security wise, you don't have to have your full stack in there, right? Like you can use things like Aqua. You can use things like Speed. You can use things like eCash just for like small amounts. And it really increases your privacy too. I think it's a very good practice to get into, is keeping like 95% of your Bitcoin in cold storage and just playing around with like 5% of it on a hot wallet, on Lightning, Liquid, eCash. Just consider these things investments in your Bitcoin education. But again, yeah, if you had 100% of your Bitcoin on a hot wallet, yeah, definitely don't advise that. Even if you get the keys to it like Aqua. Never. Because it was generated online, right? That's what a hot wallet is. The Bitcoin's online. The keys were generated using the internet. So that's a huge problem. But that doesn't mean stay away from them. That's why I say keep like 5% hot wallets, play around with it, have some fun, learn about it, but keep 95% of it in a multi-sig, in a single sig with a passphrase, encrypted, geographically dispersed, multi-jurisdictional, dispersed. You can get there. You can get there. Mikkel, thanks, Jor and Arnie. You hear that? Oh, you can't even see him. Do you hear that? Arnie. Whatever, Arn. Mikkel said, thanks, Jor and Arnie. You didn't even acknowledge it. Got Sats, love the channel, brother. Keep going. Nice. Nice. That's a nice thing to say. EB says, F YouTube. I'm not saying that. That's not my main message here. It's really not. I hope I was clear about that. I think that, again, YouTube has been one of the best things for me to help get this message out there to people. But I just don't want to rely on them, right? That's the whole thing. I don't want to rely on them as a single point of failure. So we're going to grow Zapstream. We're going to grow Nostr. We're going to grow Rumble. And we'll stay on YouTube. I don't want to say F YouTube, but we got to diversify our Bitcoin. BitBilly, look at this. BitBilly's been very, very generous supporter of the channel. And not just financially, but also with words like this. Jor is absolutely the best. No other channel compares. I don't know about that, but I do appreciate it very much, BitBilly. Very, very much. Never keep all your Bitcoin in one wallet or place. Great advice. And never keep all your content in one place either. And that's why we're going over to Rumble. EB says, how do we speak in private so I don't ask my question in front of all? Great question. I actually have a really good... you can go to Bitcoin Citadel. Here, I'll walk you through it, actually. I'll walk you through it. How does this sound? So one thing that we do differently at Bitcoin Citadel, and one of the reasons why we started this company, is because we have an option called value for value. And there's been a lot of people who take advantage of this in the last couple months here. Can we see that? Bitcoin Citadel. So what you do is you go to advisors at the top, and you can see all of our amazing advisors here. Jor, Mike, Daniel, Noah, Craig, Pixelated, of course, and Alex. And you can click on them and you can see what they offer, what their specialties are. And so from there, you can go book with Jor. And it's going to take you to my Bitcoin journey page. Is this showing up here? No. Oh, hold on. So how do I share this now instead? Share this tab instead. And then, so this one's value for value. So it's a 30-minute call. You can ask any questions you want. There's no limit. No questions are stupid or off topic. And then you can just send whatever you want. You can send some Bitcoin based on the value that you receive for it. So pretty cool. I think that this is incredibly important, where you don't have to pay somebody for 10 hours of time if you just have a couple questions. So that's why we have our value for value there for exactly stuff like this, EB. Just ask it. I mean, yeah, you could just ask it too. Like I don't unless it's something to do with illegal activity, then I'll answer it on here. That's the thing. Like a circus act here. No questions, no topics off limit. Melanie says you're renting space on YouTube. Yes. That's the problem, right? That's the whole problem, is that they could decide one day at any time that this Jor guy, we don't like him very much. He's talking about things we don't agree with, doing things we don't like, and so we're going to chop off his lifeline. Gonzo. Moving to Rumble, I see. Yes. So this is the channel here, and we've had about 20 angels subscribe already to the new channel over there. So that's where the new daily show is going to be. And I appreciate everybody sticking around here, because I know there's been a lot of like self-promotion on this show today. I hope I counteracted it with a lot of value for people. But I do understand that there's been a lot of like talk about the channel and blah, blah, blah. It's not normally like that. But I just thought it was a very important topic that we need to talk about today. And so I appreciate you all sticking with me here through it. But look at this. I want to give a couple shout outs here, because we had Riff Boy follow the channel. We had Spiny Lobster, Capaholics, and another frog just started following us on Rumble. So thank you very, 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 very much. I prospect for gold and convert to sats. Think about that. I love that. I love that. Good on you. That's amazing. Corey Got Sat says, just subscribe to your Rumble. Thank you, Corey. Thank you very much. Expedition sounds good. That's right. Or, sounds good. Riff Boy. Okay, good to know. Thank you, Corey. That's a tough thing for all these different names and stuff. It's like somebody's this name on YouTube, and then they're this in the Signal chat, and then they're this on Zapstream, and then they're this on Nostr, and then there's this on Rumble. That's a hard thing for me, trying to remember everybody's names. Is like everybody has a different nim for a different platform. I'm losing my voice here. This isn't good. I got to do a couple videos with the Maple Bitcoin boys today. Okay, so let's wrap this up. I do want to say a big shout out, actually, and I feel bad that I haven't yet this show, but Bill, I don't know if you're watching now. I don't know if you're watching later, but Bill has been a very, very big supporter of this channel, and he kind of does it in the dark. He does it anonymously, and basically he's a very, I'll say successful. We'll go with that. Very successful individual. And so he talks to a lot of people in his industry, and he's been orange pilling a lot of people. So he has a client come in and he'll talk to them about Bitcoin, and then he'll actually show them my channel and say, look at this QR code on screen. I'm going to send Bitcoin using this QR code to Jor. And he does it pretty much every day. And I told him to start using the same amount, because he was sending it and I didn't know where it's from. It was just a bunch of random amounts. I think he was doing like $5 a day or something. So I told him to stick with one amount, so I know it's him. But I just want to say thank you to Bill, because he's been a very big supporter of this channel, and without much thanks for me, because I didn't know where it was coming from for a while. So thank you, Bill. Very, very much appreciate it. And it was awesome to meet in Vegas. Hagendale. Okay, so this is your first full stream. Wow, cool. Been great as my first full stream. There's never enough of this kind of Bitcoin content for serious people. Well, I appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say, and exactly what I'm trying to accomplish here. I think there's enough bullshit on YouTube. We want no bullshit. Big shout out to Young Burtis as well, who just subscribed to the Rumble channel. We might have more subscribers in one day on Rumble than I had in like 3 years trying to build it up on the other one. I just gassed that one though. I didn't like it. Bad vibes. Wasn't working. There's 2 channels. I didn't know which one I was ever posting to. So this is going to be a fresh channel, and I'm going to stream here every day for the people. For the kids, for the dogs, for the people. That's what we're doing here. And we are making change. And that's what that's where I want to leave today with. That's how I want to end the show today. Which is, whatever you're working on right now, hopefully you're working on Bitcoin one way or another. And I don't want you to ever think that whatever you're doing is irrelevant. Because it takes one person at a time, one day at a time, one platform at a time to make real change. And the one lie that we're told growing up as kids is that, don't try to change the world because you're going to get burned. Right? We're taught from a very, there's Lucky. Look at this. My chroma light in the way there. Lucky boy. Washing himself. Look at this nice light from Chroma. Love this thing. Goes white and it goes red for the nighttime. So if you're somebody who has an office that you work in at night, that's pretty bright. You can change it to nighttime mode. So it kind of much easier on the eyes. But during the day here, I keep it white. It helps eliminate some of the blue light that they're poisoning us with every day. So I do have, if anybody's interested in that, I should probably share that. I don't talk about this Chroma enough. But anyways, where I was going with that is like, don't ever think that you're too small, right? That's the lie that we're told. It's like, don't try to do too much. Don't try to change the world. You're just a monkey spinning on a rock. That's what they tell us growing up. Not, the people that care about us, but the other people, the media, the mainstream, the Hollywoods, the everything. They tell you, we're just monkeys spinning on a rock. That's not true at all. It's not. If you want to do something, you can do it. You can absolutely do anything you want to. You can't do everything you want to, but you can do anything that you want to. And so if you're serious about this stuff, about your family's future, about changing the world, Bitcoin is the perfect place for you. So I just want to say thanks. I threw that Get Chroma light in there for a link if you're interested in getting some blue light blocking stuff. There's lights on there. There's glasses. Don't go into debt. Don't sell your Bitcoin for it, or maybe sell your Bitcoin for it. I sold some Bitcoin for it because it's important to me. It's my health. But it's in the chat there. So if you want to check that out, I think you get 10% off, maybe 15%. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's very, very high quality stuff. So I don't mind paying for quality. Anyways, just want to say thank you once again. Big shout out to Gronky Tonk Man for the super chat. Thank you to whoever the heck sent 15,000 sats today. That was amazing of you to do. Thank you to Josh for the 8,888 sats. Big shout out to Bill for being a daily anonymous supporter of the show. And to Cleaner Machine, who is zapping every single day here, pretty much. 2,500 sats. And Duncan as well. I saw Duncan in the chat. My phone died here. So I don't know if you sent the DCA or not in today, but I'll say thanks anyways, because you've been very supportive of the show. And of course, to everybody in the Living the Future community. And also to everybody who subscribed on Rumble today. It seems like Rumble could be pretty cool going forward here. So we're going to take it more seriously. We're going to stream every single day on Rumble. That's going to be the place where you can find the 88 Sats radio channel. And that's it. You got any questions? It's joe@bitcoincitadel.net. You need help with your Bitcoin, bitcoincitadel.net. And keep showing up. DCA was sent. I figured, Duncan. I'm sorry, man. My phone died here. I had quite the day, but we got through it. And big shout out to Zapstream too. Scotty, Scotty Too Hottie with a bunch of zaps today of 99 sats. Mateo sent his first zap. Gronky Tonk Man, Groovy Shoe sent their first zaps. Kieran set us up with a new URL. What a day. What a fucking day. No idea what's going to happen from here, but it's been a good start today. And I just want to say thank you for that. Because I was in a pretty, not a bad place, but at least I was pretty pissed off about what happened yesterday on YouTube. But you guys have sure changed my mood around. So I appreciate that. So have yourselves a great day. Thank you, Trail Ossify. Appreciate that. And Ian as well. Have yourselves an amazing hump day today. We will be back on YouTube tomorrow, maybe Friday. But then after that, we're going to be exclusively on the Zap stream and Rumble. So if you're watching this later, I'll have all these links that I shared in the show notes for you. And we'll talk to you first thing tomorrow morning. Thanks again for the hang. We'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.